So, patch 1.3 is now live on all platforms. We also have the first 3 items of DLC, and we had the first red streams from the devs over on Twitch. So let's jump straight in. So patch 1.3 is now live, and we have some of these sizes down below. So PlayStation 5, 40.597 gigabytes, PlayStation 4 TBA, PC 33.67 gigabytes, Xbox 37.25, and Stadia TBA. So last part of the video today, I have the full stream from yesterday, talking and showing the changes in patch 1.3. Also the first drop of DLC, of which there are 14 left to go. So my take is that they'll spread these out possibly until the next gen versions release, or spread them out until the first expansions is not too far away. And as of right now, there is no information regarding the expansions, just that they are being actively worked on as we speak. So thanks for watching, thanks for tuning in, and I will leave you with yesterday's stream, which is definitely worth a watch. Take care, Tunes, and I'll see you next time in Night City.
Hello everyone,
Hello,
welcome to our
everyone.
very first installment of Red Streams. Hey! I am Kira Turskaya, Senior Community Manager here at CDPR from Russia. Так что всем привет, кто нас смотрит. Here with me are my colleagues from Poland, Alicia Kozera.
Cześć wszystkim.
And Amelia Kalat.
Siemanko.
Also community managers. And our special guests today are Miles Tost, Senior Level Designer from Germany.
Hey everyone, hallo, hier soll irgendwas in Deutsch gesagt werden, ich weiß aber nicht was.
And Patrick Mills, Senior Quest Designer from the US.
Howdy.
So guys, would you mind telling us what is it exactly that you do here at CDPR? Who are you?
So I am a quest designer, and that means I work on quests. And that means when you're playing the game and you're playing one of those little story parts, it means that me or somebody like me wrote that, implemented it, and implemented it with a big team of people, including people like Miles, a level designer.
Yes, I'm a level designer, so I design levels, which basically means in a game like Cyberpunk that I am involved in making all of the stages that our quest take place in, all of these, locations like the meat factory, clouds, the abandoned power plant in the Judy quest line, or work on, the city and how that is basically made up.
Thank you. Just so you guys know, we're all doing this from home. This is our first experiment of this kind, so please don't judge us too harshly. And what are we doing here today exactly? We know we've been quiet recently, so we want to talk all things Cyberpunk 2077 today, namely our upcoming patch 1.3 for the game, which brings an impressive list of changes and fixes, and our very first DLCs that we're very excited to reveal. We'll also be answering some questions from the chat, so feel free to ask, and we'll do our very best to answer as many as we can at the end of the stream.
Yeah. If I can chime in, I want to say, Kira mentioned that this is our first stream of this kind. This is something we're trying out. Since launch, as all of you are definitely aware, things have not gone exactly as planned. So this is something that we're experimenting with because we know that there's not been a lot of communication from us, or certainly not clear communication about what's going on with the project, where we are with things, why are things taking so long. This is our attempt to sort of, try to fix that situation. So I hope you'll bear with us. Hopefully we won't have any technical problems today. It'd be embarrassing if we did, but hey, it happens. So that's where we're at right now.
Okay, so let's get to it. We do want to talk to you
It's
guys.
1.3.
So...
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep. Patch 1.3, we're gonna have a lot of changes. It's gonna be our biggest patch to date. So we'll show you some highlights today, but just a few, because when you see the patch, when you see how the scope of it, you'll understand what I mean. DLCs, we're also gonna discuss during the stream in detail. They are included in the patch, so you don't have to download them as a separate unit. You can just find them in the main menu and the game menu as additional content. Now, what do we have now?
Let's get into it. So Amelia is gonna be our stream master today. She will be playing the game for us on her awesome rig. So be nice. And we are starting. Where are we starting, Amelia?
I think we're gonna go to V's apartment and see what's gonna happen in there.
What's new in there? Okay.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Chills,
Nice,
right?
nice.
It's so good to finally get this out, right? We've been, of course, working on this one for a while now, and not being able to talk about this has been killing me. And here we are, finally.
Okay, so first thing that we wanted to show, I think that was crafting, right? Crafting related.
Yeah, let's
Yes.
go ahead and take a look at the crafting.
All right. Ooh, we'll start with some actual changes here.
Yes.
What do we have, Amelia?
Well, we actually have the change that you can now craft legendary and any other components in bulks.
Yay,
You don't
quality
have
of life
to-
change.
You don't have to click.
Anything anymore. I can just do the slider thing and it's just like poof, 123.
That seems too easy.
You think? I think it's actually pretty nice change.
Pretty
Like
nice.
try to click everything like
I
don't
did
know.
that. I did that. I can assure you that it's a nice change. It's very useful.
I mean, these might seem like, like smaller changes, but ultimately introducing quality of life changes like these is what makes the game a rounder and smoother experience. In when you take them all together as a sum, right? And since launch, I think the crafting system when it comes to usability has increased quite a bit, with the ability of these bulk changes and then some other slight tweaks to make it more comfortable to use.
Yeah, I think that's something you'll see through a stream when we're talking about things. This patch that's coming out is still mostly stability and bug fixing, but we've gotten the game to a state where we're comfortable putting in some of these quality of life changes. This is one of them. There will be a few more that we'll talk about later on, but we're going to start working on those sorts of things more in the future. Can't talk about those yet because we've learned our lesson about talking about things before they're done. So.
Yeah, but we'll get there, don't worry. So guys, let's maybe move on to our perks, because we have something to show there as well. What do you say, Amelia?
Yes, we introduced the reset perks button, and I think Miles, do you wanna?
Yes, this is actually one of my favorite additions, right? Because Cyberpunk, we've always sort of intended to be this game where the level design should invite players to mess around and play around with a variety of different play styles, right? And having the reset perks button right there on the screen with the cost, well, then a little cost attached to it, not to make it, too cheap, too exploitative, allows you to really, just experiment and invites you to experiment and try out different ways of playing the game. And I hope that, for those players of you who may have already started a playthrough and you feel like, I'm not too happy with what I've picked here, this allows you to respec into something more comfortable, whereas other players who maybe like to play a little bit of everything, all that, can just mess around until they find something that works well for them, or try to spend some points on something entirely else.
Plus,
That's not. Yeah, that's
yes,
not all.
I said go.
That's not all. We saw that you made this big list on Reddit or the forums where you've been listing which perks don't actually work as they are described in our game. We've seen those lists, and we are going to fix all those perks, starting with this patch where we fixed a few of them, and we'll be adding up. So, which are the perks that we fixed, guys?
I mean, yeah. So I see there the hit the deck perk has been fixed. Now we'll properly work on knockdown and staggered enemies, which is cool, you know. So, Pattern,
There's
do you
a
want to
can't
say another
touch
one?
this
Sure.
perk,
Yeah, we
right?
yeah. We've got the can't touch this perk. It's been fixed. It'll properly grant immunity to blind from your own flash grenades. The crazy science perk properly fixes the sale price of items. And the hacker overlord perk will now grant a recipe for epic whistle quick hack. There are more fixes as well. They will be in the patch notes, which we will link later.
I
Yes.
actually have I see one question in the chat pop up regarding this, which is how about reset attribute points, right? This is something that is a bit more difficult to do. I'm not saying that we're not doing it. Actually, I honestly don't know what the state of that is, but just from the game logic and how we built it, it's not something that we can so simply reset as the perks, because a lot of dialogue choices and all of that stuff, and how you unlock content in the world, be it doors that you can crack open, they are actually directly tied to your level of attribute points, right? And resetting those would have an effect on the world as well, right? Or your accessibility to it, and we would need to consider how we want that to still address it, right? We don't want to add a new system that actually then ends up breaking more stuff than it heals. Yeah. So.
Sounds
Awesome.
cool.
Okay, so we are done with respecking. We have now a new set of perks.
Yes, we did. I'm looking for the very interesting and needed addition to this room, and I can't
Yes,
find him.
This
Maybe,
is the biggest change.
maybe check bathroom. He likes to hide in there.
Yeah, let's say he's busy, okay?
Oh, okay.
There we go.
There he
Let's
is.
not
No,
bother
we
him.
still
then.
intrude.
He just gave us the look like the hell.
That reminds me
Oi.
of something. I'll be right back.
Yeah. So I'm gonna see if he will miss us. Okay, I'm just gonna leave. Maybe we can actually show the chat where you can get nibbles if you haven't done it.
Yeah,
yet.
of course. Let's go. Because he's right here. He's waiting for
We have
Yes.
a very special guest.
Oh, Cosmos!
Cosmos.
Hi,
If you follow me
Cosmo.
on Twitter, you know this guy.
This is the biggest superstar of the stream.
Oh,
Don't
yeah.
get confused by
Yes.
our faces. It's all about Cosmos.
Do it for
Oh.
him.
Okay, anyway, we're right in the spot where we can find nibbles the first time in the game. Do you have something to add about it, Patrick, since you already brought your cat?
Yes. So so a lot of people don't know that you can get the cat in the game, but if you come to this location, it's just outside of V's apartment. You'll hang on left to go all the way to the end. There'll be a little note that tells you how to get the cat. You read that, and you need to get some cat food. And in a previous patch, oh look, he's sticking around. You can get some cat food and put it in the bowl, and then the cat will teleport to your apartment, and now you'll have a pet cat. And in this patch, we've made some improvements to the cat. The cat does more stuff now. I mean, it's a small change, but it's the kind of thing that we're trying to do more of now that the game is a bit more stable and a bit more in a better place, so that we can do some of these fun things like this.
Yeah, look, he's back in his
There you
seat.
go.
He's just
So
cleaning himself right now.
So
Oh.
guys, there is
Amazing.
more spots for nibbles now. So tell us after the patch if you found all of them.
Yes.
Sweet.
And there's one more thing that you guys missed, and you should feel ashamed.
Oh, what?
Yes, we got the text. And we got the
Oh.
text from Victor Vector.
From our BFF.
Yes.
How could you miss it?
I don't know, guys.
So-
You did.
I'm so sorry, Vic.
So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to read this. I want to say this is the first of our small DLCs. These are small DLCs. I have seen people getting really hyped because oh my God, the DLCs are coming. These are small DLCs. We'll be releasing more later. This is the very first one. It is something cosmetic, and I'll go ahead and I'll read this because I like to do Vic. It's not a great impression, but it's hopefully good enough for y'all. Hey V, thought just occurred to me. Can't start your career in the major leagues right by sporting some rag of a t-shirt. The wind blows a lot stronger up here on top of the world. Old timers like me hate to watch you kids catch cold. Left a couple of your things in your stash at your apartment. Give them an honest try, and I'll bet they fit you just right.
Ooh.
And so, yes, there's my Victor Vector impression. Thank you. Thank you.
It was well done. Very well
We're
done.
You should
getting
get Pavel
spread.
Sastre in here as well.
Okay, so we have 2 answers from
Yes.
V. Should I do that?
Yes.
Okay, let's go. So, first one. Come on, Vic. I feel like I owe you a bajillion eddies already. No way I can accept another gift. Or, wow, thanks, Vic. Won't hear me say no to free threads.
Which one
So which
should
one
we
should
buy?
we? Yeah,
Are we decent?
we should
Gotta
be.
be nice to Vic.
Yeah.
Gotta be nice to Vic. I mean, he's one of the last decent people in Night City.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so the
definitely
first
the
one,
first one.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go. Wonder if he replies. Yes!
Okay,
He
come on, Patrick.
He says, another? Hope you don't think those Kiroshis were charity. Anyway, where else would we find a home for these things? Not Misty style, and my punk days are long behind me. And when we see this, you'll see what he means. This would definitely not fit Vic as we know him. So let's take a look.
Yeah, let's go
Take
to
a
the
look at what
stash
he's
and check
given
it
us.
out.
Okay, so we have 2 jackets.
Ooh,
Okay.
okay, so let's try them on.
So that's gonna be the first jacket.
The red one.
Yes.
Okay, shiny.
Very shiny.
Very red.
I imagined Vic wearing that to his boxing matches.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When he was like, I don't know, 20 or something.
Oh yeah,
Probably.
long time
Just
ago.
the jacket,
Long
nothing
time
else.
Long time ago.
Okay.
It's important again, you know, like this patch in by itself is really big. It's gonna be a really big patch. And I think here you mentioned it at the beginning, right? It's our biggest one to date. We've
Ginormous.
we've put a lot of effort into this one. So consider the DLCs that we have now as a sort of goodies, sort of cherries on top, right? And the reality is, of course, and we've talked about this in the past, that we differentiate a bit between different kinds of extra content, right? Between DLCs, small additional items, of which we will have plenty coming down the road, and of course the gigantic expansion passes, which we have some more, I think, to say about later.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let's try
Let's
the
check the
second
another
one.
one.
Next
Let's-
jacket.
I think that jacket is made to keep you warm.
Definitely.
Fluffy. I could wear this in Moscow in winter.
Maybe
Yeah.
Vic had that when he was, I don't know, traveling somewhere where it was like super cold. Because I don't know.
Also, gets really cold in the Badlands at night, so maybe
The desert.
maybe he rode with the Aldecaldos.
Do you think he
Or
was
the
like
Snake
really
Nation.
punk nomad kind of
Yeah,
guy?
it's possible. It's possible.
I mean, some
Possible.
people are like that. I've seen people walk around in pullovers in like 32 degrees Celsius, right? It's just some people just feel cold, I guess.
Can we go
Okay.
check it out at the mirror?
Yeah,
Yes.
let's see it.
But important
That'd be
question.
nice.
Important question. Which
Yeah.
jacket do we keep? The red one or the
Oh, the red one.
The
Red
red
one.
I mean, we
Red
are
one.
CD Projekt Red,
All right.
after all.
Let's fair point.
The red one, yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
there's really no option.
Okay, let's see it. In the mirror, right?
In the mirror. Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Looking
What
nice.
are we gonna see?
Well, I think that we are going to see another bug fix we did, which is that V's expressions actually change in the mirror when you click on them. I'll be completely honest. This is a hand to my heart. I always thought that they did change and that V was just very sullen and had very minor facial expressions. And I still insist that that's true. I don't know if it actually is or not, but I insist that it's true. But anyway, V is a lot more expressive now in the mirror.
I have
No, I
to
wanna
say
hi-
though, that V with the like, guys, could you see her smile? She's like Geralt. She is like almost not smiling.
I mean, now she is smiling, but I 100% agree with Patrick that I
Mm.
thought it was meant to be like that.
I thought it was a role playing thing. It's like, oh yeah, well, just V's. Doesn't have
Tough
a lot
merc.
of affect. Yeah,
From
she's a
Night
tough
City,
merc.
you know. Gotta
Can't
keep the
show that
appearance.
much. Absolutely, got to be a tough guy.
Major leagues. Major
Mhm.
leagues.
Mm-hmm.
All right, time to show it off on the streets, I think.
Yes. that's
Are we gonna off-walk the jacket outside
Everyone
in
is gonna
town?
be jealous.
Nice. How are we gonna travel?
with fast travel.
No! Ah, my heart.
But just very closely, don't worry.
Don't worry.
Every
will
time
still-
someone
we'll
fast
still
travels in a
walk.
game, a level designer dies somewhere.
Miles will be glad to know I never fast travel. Never fast
Aw.
travel, except when
Not
testing, obviously.
once.
But
I mean, what you could do, you could maybe just, I don't know, disable fast travels?
I don't know. There's probably a mod for that. I don't know that you can actually do that in the
I love that mod.
editors or in the client.
No, but I mean, you know, of course we add fast travel as a matter of convenience, but imagine working for years on something like this, trying to bring a city like this to life, right? With all the visuals. And then people skip the content essentially by fast travel. This is how it must be like if you're one of our cinematic designers, you know, like who handle the dialogues or the cutscenes, and
Can
people
you-
just go skip.
I hope I didn't miss it.
That's
Can you
seriously
get one of those
hours and
budget arms
hours
guns?
and hours.
You mean these?
Yeah. Can you get one of the budget arms guns? I love these
Yeah.
things. I love
Oh,
them. I love
behind?
them. They're so cute.
Oh yeah, vending machines with guns. I love it.
Reminds me of home.
Dude,
Where's it? What?
Wait,
Let's buy.
you need to
Oh,
press.
here we
yeah.
go.
Oh, and I got
I was hoping
almost.
for a red one.
Almost one. Let's
Damn
get
it.
red one.
There we go.
Oh, God. Is it people in this world collect them like toys?
No! Come on, red one.
Nope.
Gonna
you're
spend all your
cursed with
eddies.
this one. Just
One more. One more.
Oh, pink is fine.
No! Who?
Amelia, calm down, calm down. It's okay.
Okay. Let's keep the pink one.
It's gonna be
it's
orange.
alright.
Orange looks better.
All right.
2 pink ones?
Well, maybe this is a good point in time to talk a bit about, you know, to drop some sage developer knowledge on how difficult it is to make patches like this on a live game. This has been something that over the recent months actually has been sort of a matter close to my heart as I've been following my Twitter feed, what people write on Reddit and everything, right? And one thing I notice in general, and you know, Patrick, correct me if I'm wrong, is that people don't seem to be aware how difficult it is to create patches for a game that has been already launched, right? It's a process that takes a lot of you know, sort of finicking around with existing systems. The main idea behind making patches is, of course, to improve a game and not to end up breaking it more. And how you need to imagine making fixes in a game works like is basically open heart surgery, right? You have this whole system that's been working, and you kind of need to get in and try to fix stuff around the stuff without making sure that everything else falls around it or breaks around it, and that can take a lot of time. We've had examples where things that might seem like simple fixes, one of them we will actually check out later, and we've already announced it. They may seem like something that should be fixable in a snap, right? And then we look into it, and this is not just like a thing that we at CD Projekt have, but like game developers in general, is that these fixes suddenly, you know, connect to so many other systems that turning one wheel somewhere else will actually cause, you know, another clock to somewhere else fall off, right? And you need to sort of make sure that you don't mess with the entire system while you try to improve the state of it overall. And that's why sometimes it can take much longer to fix even small things than we anticipate as developers, even, right?
Especially, like Miles already mentioned, the difficulty of doing it on a live game. So, I mean, as a quest designer, I get a lot of bugs where it's like, oh, this thing is supposed to happen, it didn't happen, and I saved the game, and now how do I fix it? So I have to actually go and, break apart the quest to try to figure out how to fix it for this person who saved the game at this one exact spot, but it can't break the game for anybody who saved it 5 seconds before or 5 seconds after, before this piece of logic has happened. Those can be difficult, but even more fundamental than that. And it's hard to stress how difficult this is. And I'm a quest designer, I'm not a programmer, but if your game has problems with memory management and streaming, every change you make every change you make butts up against that. And we've been working on the streaming, we've been working on the memory management, and I feel like we're finally at a place where we're a little bit clear of those things and that we can start getting to work on some other stuff, the stuff that we know that you want. We know you want those things. I read all of the messages that we get. I read Reddit. Why, I don't know. I even read the mean messages. By the way, some of you are really, really mean, and whatever. But we know the things that you want, and we're working on a lot of those things. And I feel like we're finally in a place where we can start trying to deliver those things. This patch is the first part of that. So,
Yes. It's one of the
So-
one of many steps to kind of bring it to
Mhm,
where you want it to be, right? This one introduces some improvements to public AI, crowd AI, and all that, but don't expect it to be like a completely new system just yet, right?
Yeah, some things are going to get better in this patch, and then they will hopefully get better in the next patch, and then better in the next patch, and eventually wind up in the place where we want them to be, and the place where you want them to be. But they do take time, and it's a lot. So, and we've had an interesting year. Let's just say that. Like,
Let's show something else. Let's go
Yes.
someplace else and show some more changes.
I think this time around we're gonna go to Ghostlands, to Badlands, sorry.
Yeah, let's
Ghosttown
change the
Quest,
scenery.
Yes.
Ghostland
nice there.
sounds interesting. It's something we may want to look into for the future.
Ooh. Okay, so in Badlands, there's I think another DLC waiting for us.
Yes. Yes.
What is it?
So pretty much all you have to do is the quest Ghost Town, like I mentioned, and it sort of matters with like who you side, either if you're gonna help Panam or not Panam, but that changes who is giving you that thing. And we just got text from Rogue. So let me read that message. Kira, do you maybe wanna do the honors?
Sure. All right, so, hey, good thing you didn't indulge Pan Am's appetite for frontier justice. Dropping Nash would have solved Didi Squad. Besides, sooner or later, the Raffens would have tried to get payback. Don't worry, she'll understand soon enough. One last thing, V. I know how to reward professionalism, loyalty, traits that a certain someone evidently lacked. That reward's called a Quartz Bandit, and is now belongs to you. Sending you the cords.
Quartz Bandit.
So, yes, the Quartz Bandit.
What is it?
It's a car. It's a
Oh.
very nice looking car.
One thing that I think is also worth noting about the way we approach our DLC,
Oh.
like a general design
Miles, I'm gonna-
philosophy.
I've got to cut you off, though. I'm going to cut you off. There's a feature I like here. There's a feature that the Quest team worked on that I'm very proud of.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm doing it. I'm
really,
going for
I
it.
know you're excited about this.
I'm excited about this. One of the things, like I don't know how many people know this, but like I'm one of the big like lore guys at the studio, and so I'm really excited to be able to show that in the journal now you have Codex entries listed right next to the journal, so you can just click on that and get more detailed information about the world and what's going on. So I don't know, you can feel a little bit more informed about the world because I think it's a cool world. But yeah, it's a little change, but a little quality of life thing. So yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry, Miles. You can continue. You can
No,
continue.
it's okay.
One more-
I
one
think
more
you know.
thing. You can call from that.
Oh yeah. That's cool. That's cool.
So if you click it on accident, you keep in mind that you will call someone.
Yeah, we have done
Hmm.
this. We've rehearsed this a bit, and then we've ended up calling Mr. Hands a couple of times. Like
I just
so.
called him again.
Each and every time.
It
Oh,
happens
God.
every time.
Yeah,
Happens every time, yes.
happens every
No,
time.
but I think like these time again, as I said earlier, with the whole crafting stuff, right? Like our goal right now is to take all of these, like smaller changes to ensure that the gameplay experience of Cyberpunk as it is as smooth as it can be now. That includes all the performance stuff, that includes the quality of life changes, right? And all the sort of smaller and also larger feature updates that we're sort of introducing. And as Patrick has been stating time and time again now today, is that now we're sort of at the point in time where we can sort of dedicate to sort of bigger tasks. And we figured that dropping in some DLC like this is also a really cool thing. What I wanted to get at before I was interrupted is that I think it's really really nice that the philosophy we sort of have for our DLC is that it should always be kind of included into the game in the way that it's not just you turn on a button, except for the Johnny DLC, I think, but like the jacket and everything is all implemented into the game in a sort of logical context, right? It's like for this car, you need to get to a certain point in the game and then make a handful of decisions in order for you to get it in a certain way, right? And then for the jacket, you also need to get to a point in the game where then Victor will contact you, send you a text message, and give you the jacket. And this sort of over time will, with the other DLCs that we're working on, will hopefully make the game world also a bit more full, a bit more complete as a whole.
And I should mention, because while we have rehearsed this, we've clearly not rehearsed it enough, that the point at which Vic will send you that text message is shortly after you meet with Dex in his limousine.
Yes, but it also like, if you're like, I don't know, close to the end of the game, you will still receive that message. So it doesn't matter if you're like just starting or just already advanced in the game, you'll still get it. Now, I'm gonna use Jackie's bike to get to the car.
Rest in peace, my boy.
Nice
Poor
ride.
Jack.
My favorite bike.
But I
Didn't
heard
you,
that-
Patrick, once mention? Yeah. What Alicia wanted to say, I guess. We
Yeah,
heard
there's-
some stories about Jackie. We wanted to double check with you.
Oh, did he used to be a bad guy?
An asshole? I think that's
Why?
what you said.
I say asshole. Yes, Jack used to be a real asshole in an older version of the game and a way older version of the story.
Yeah.
Before a lot of much needed changes to the prologue, Jackie actually is the reason the heist goes tits up, because he's a prick and he fights you, and he was a jerk, but he works much better as your best friend. So that's a change we made. But yeah, he wasn't a nice guy.
No, that's what we call a good change in this case.
Definitely
Yes.
a good change.
love
Definitely a good
Jackie.
change.
And now
Yeah,
is the
of
car.
course.
Ta-da.
Yeah. Ta-da! I really like
Is that
this car.
NVIDIA RTX 3090?
Now we
That's
know
where
where
they
every.
went.
Oh God. Okay.
And it's very orange.
Yes.
So
I-
it's
Don't like the color, but this car handles really well. It's really fast. All the Nomad cars have really good handling, so they're my favorite ones to drive. But yeah, anyway, take it for a spin.
Oh.
how fast does it go?
Oh look! Look who's calling!
Forgotten. It actually got... Ooh.
Takamura, hi!
Oh, we've been
Takamura-san.
waiting for you, Takamura. You said you'd call us tomorrow. It's been a while.
But yeah, the car. It's going back to the car. The car is actually, it's pretty good. It's speed, like super fast. 170 so far, 72. Yeah, and it's actually it drives pretty nicely.
Yeah. I know they retuned it recently, more recent since I played it last, but it still looks like it handles pretty well. I don't know, Amelia, what do you think? Does it handle pretty good?
I'm absolutely terrible when it comes to riding cars. in any
Okay.
game. So yeah, like it gives I give the thumbs up.
That was a pretty nice J turn, so probably it works. All right, cool. Um, this is a great opportunity, though, to talk about another fix that seems simple, is very complicated, is the minimap. As you'll notice, Amelia can get in and out of the car real quick, just so it's easier
Yeah,
for them to see.
I'm out.
So you can see, like, yeah. The minimap zooms out when you get in the car now. And this is one of those changes I mentioned earlier, like memory issues. This is one of those things because that map has to stream in ahead of you. And certainly on some platforms, there could be problems there. Even on PC, though, if you just go and you pull the minimap up, you'll still see that there's like flickering ahead of you because the streaming can't quite keep up with the speed of especially fast cars. So this is something that we've done. This is a good change. You will get lost much less frequently. Um, so, yeah.
Much less turns missed.
Yes. Yes.
Nice.
It's-
Yes.
So, do we want to sum up what we've come up with here?
Yes, please.
All right. So
Alright.
we've got. Let's see. We've got the jackets, right?
There's
What else do we
also
have on
I
this
see
here?
a lot of comments
Patrick?
about sorry for interrupting you, but I feel that's something
Your
now
turn.
I get to interrupt. Finally, my revenge.
Your turn.
But I see a lot of people also mentioning that there's been mods to sort of address the whole minimap issue in the past, and I love mods. I come from a modding background. That's how I
Me too.
started in the industry. Patrick as well. And the thing with stuff like that is that mods are not accessible on consoles, right? Like we have sort of this whole thing where we need to make sure that the fixes that we apply count for all platforms, right? Because we don't want to leave any behind with these kind of fixes. So that for Cyberpunk is 8 different platforms essentially, right? From PS4, Xbox to the Pro variants, all the way to the next gen variants, and etc. That's a lot of stuff that you need to consider. It's not as simple as just making one fix and boom, it works everywhere, right? All these platforms have very, very different requirements. And as Patrick sort of mentioned, this particular change was a lot related to performance and memory gains, right? Because the minimap textures that we have that are being showcased, they're actually fairly heavily on the memory. And simply zooming out was sadly not a valid solution for us because, again, it needs to run on all the platforms. And these performance gains that we've been fighting so hard for over the last year, we didn't want to throw them away with one additional fix, right? So we needed to be a bit more clever. You see with this minimap fix, basically when you get into the car, it zooms out as far as we can afford, but then it actually shifts the minimap also a bit lower, and that turned out to be sort of like a clever solution to the problem. But again, it's something where initially it seems like, hey, we'll do it in 5 minutes, but then actually you investigate the problem and how it actually relates and what possible fixes you could do, and it turns out there's a whole rat's tail of possible issues that can be done if you don't fix it properly. And doing that is of course really important. The other thing is of course also anyone who's really been into modding will have had this moment where if you start piling up 5, 10, 15 mods into your game, the stability of your game goes down drastically, right? I think there's almost this thing where you try to get like a record amount of mods on and then, like see how well it runs. And for us, of course, when we do a patch like this, it's almost like a 1,000 mods or whatever, slightly exaggerated, that we're throwing together, and they all need to be compatible, and they all need to be stable, they all need to be tested, right? And none of it needs to be made in such a way that it causes a detriment on any of the platforms or any of the players, right? Besides, mods really only affect a tiny amount of players. Because most people really don't game on PC. There's still a large amount of people, and of those people, only a fraction really actually puts in the effort to mod their game. Which, again, mods can yield some amazing results, for sure.
Thank
So
you, Miles.
triple kudos to thank you, Miles, and triple kudos to all of our developers who created this incredible amount of changes to the game that we're going to show later. But summing up what we have today, right? We introduced some changes to the crafting system. We introduced some changes to these behavior mirror expressions. Nibbles, our favorite cat, can move around and change positions now when V leaves the apartment. We've got 2 new jackets, we've got a new car, we've got the minimap, and a bunch of cool new additions. What have I forgotten? Come on, guys.
I think we have one more thing that we would like to show you guys.
Yes.
Are you loading the game? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So let's
thing.
get back to the main menu, and first of all, let's see that we have the new additional content thing in the main menu. So we can go there and we can check all the DLCs that have been added to the game. And spoiler alert, we have the alternative appearance for Johnny Silverhand, which we are gonna show you just in a second. So to turn on this alternative appearance, we go to the game settings while we're in the main menu. We go to the additional content, set it, and load the save, and let's go see it.
Easy to do, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
While we load, do we want to take a question,
Yes.
Elisa? Huh?
What-
No.
Why we load?
We
While
already
we
loaded.
load, yeah.
Okay. I see one question that is like really easy. Are the DLCs free? And the answer is yes. The DLCs are free. You just download the patch and they are in there. Expansions, that's another thing. That's something we'll talk about another time. But DLCs are completely free, and you get it with the patch as you download it.
That's a familiar place.
Yeah. So we're here
Yes.
to meet Johnny. Oh yes, here he is.
The big guy
Sexy.
himself.
He's dressed up for his own funeral.
I mean, come on.
Could go anywhere in this.
Terrible.
Guys, I have to be honest. He looks like a poser. Like he just.
No, he looks great. Look, we have
He's
the
a
same
poser.
haircut. It's a very good haircut.
The haircut's very nice. I think he looks like he's trying to make V think that he's cool. That's what I think. And he doesn't need to. He's Johnny fucking Silverhand.
But
It's
wasn't
just
that
my
the whole
opinion.
point of Johnny? He's always been trying to prove to everybody that he's the
He's the
coolest, that he's
coolest,
the
yeah.
man, you know?
Yeah. Well, look what it got him. Look what it got him. Spoilers.
I'm
This
saying
is what
that
it got him.
It depends. It depends how you end the game. That's where it got him, right?
Yeah.
And talking about the ending, I think this is a very important quest in regards to the ending of the game. Obviously, no spoilers.
Oh,
But-
tiny bit spoilers.
a little bit. You can unlock a secret ending in this quest.
Mm-hmm.
For
Yes.
that, you'd need to do something special.
yes.
Want to tell us more, Patrick?
Yeah, so if you want to unlock the secret ending, obviously you can look it up, but I'll also just tell you how to do it now. In this conversation, you have to pick some very specific options, and then this will enable the secret ending. This one doesn't matter. You can
Yeah,
say
okay,
anything you want here.
Okay.
This one doesn't matter.
They're actually
then-
free, right?
Yeah.
But you have to
Yeah.
choose
Free.
the correct
Mhm,
one to
mhm,
unlock
mhm.
the ending.
Yeah. The deal here is that Johnny doesn't really respect people who kiss his ass, but he also isn't going to be super happy with you if you're aggro. So you have to kind of try to say what you need to get Johnny to respect you. So there's some certain specific options here. And Johnny, yada yada yada. Okay, yeah, Johnny, come on. Nah, fucked that up too. That's the choice that you want.
I don't like being rude to Johnny.
Sometimes you gotta. Sometimes that's
Tough
the way
love.
that people, for Johnny especially, like he's not gonna believe you. He set off a nuke in downtown Night City. Every friend that ever went with. Okay. Whoa. Oh, yeah. What do you want from me? What do you want
Yeah,
from me?
that's the one.
I had to check. I don't remember it off the top of my head. And yeah, Johnny's just. I mean, that's what this scene is all about. The scene is usually at night, but we made it daytime so you can see his appearance a little bit better.
Yeah, but it has a little bit more climate when it's at night, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really like this scene. The music in the scene is chef kiss.
The
I love it.
music in the game.
Yeah. The music
Chills.
in the game is
And this, the
awesome.
second chances go. This is your last.
Yep, that's the one. Okay, so everybody, if you choose those three options when you are okay, spoilers. Anybody who hasn't beaten the game yet, close your ears. At the end of the game, after you meet Hanako and you are deciding what to do on the roof of Misty's place, wait before you make your decision. Wait, I think it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I think it's I
Five,
think it's-
seven
Five to
minutes.
seven?
Yeah,
Something
it's a
like that.
little, it's a little long.
So wait longer than you think you need to, and Johnny will come up with another plan, another option that maybe you hadn't considered yet, and so then that unlocks the secret ending. Keep in mind, the secret ending is meant to be a challenge. I know a lot of people said, "Ah, the game's too easy. The game's too easy." Yeah, hey, if you push, do the right things, the game can be too easy even on the hardest. I actually think that this last challenge is seriously very, very difficult. Keep in mind I'm terrible at video games, but yeah, you'll get a challenge there. It's a one and done. You can't save. You have to do the whole thing in one go. So yeah. But
You know,
If you
guys.
die, you die.
if you die, you die.
Just
If you
play on
die
easy.
in the game, you die in real life. That's how dangerous it is. Be very careful with this one.
Peggy 18. How much? 21? 91?
Okay, so anyway, this is how you can unlock it, and you guys, it's really worth it because V it payoffs for V. I think it really does. If you think it's might be too difficult to play on easy, that's what I do, and it works. And yeah,
It's all about the story.
exactly.
Mhm.
So, is that all of our
Yes.
changes that we're gonna mention today?
I
I
think so. I mean, we have tons of other changes, but you guys will be able to read them for yourself in the patch notes.
Should we maybe tease a bit those patch notes?
They're gonna be available real soon,
Go for it.
aren't they?
Yeah.
Yes, of course. Okay, so basically, here they are. They are longer than patch 1.2. Trust me. We put a lot
We
of
know.
effort in those patch notes. Yeah. And they will be live on our cyberpunk.net website just in a second, right after this stream, or maybe even during this stream. Our team is on standby. And there's
I
a
keep
lot.
scrolling and they keep
Oh.
going.
I see
And
some of my
there.
quests. Some of my fixes. Yay!
If you click the name of the quest, it actually unrolls and it makes and it shows all of the changes for that specific quest. So it's not all of them; they are hidden in there. Yes, exactly.
That's
And
how long
generally,
they
right?
are.
These are of course not all the changes, right? Some are smaller that they're not really worth mentioning. It's hard to keep track of all the changes that we put in on the scale or in this quantity. So I'm looking forward to the undocumented changes list that usually pop out within
And
the
there's-
community.
There's also been a lot of work done under the hood to make the game more stable, and most of that stuff doesn't really make change lists because it's nothing that would be really understandable. I certainly don't understand it, and I've been doing this for a very long time.
Same.
So yeah.
Okay, so we get the patch notes on the website, which you can go check out now. We got 3 DLCs coming with the patch, Jacket, Scar, and Johnny appearance. But that's not all of the DLCs. We will keep adding them, and we're also working behind the scenes on the expansion that we are planning. So can we talk about something more that we are planning?
We can't talk about the expansion, but I can say, and without promising any kind of anything, like I'm working on it. And I think it's cool. Miles and I are working on it together, and I'm really
Yes.
excited about what we're working on. I think it's cool. That's all I'm gonna say. Just in case it wasn't clear, because we mentioned it a couple of times, but all of these DLCs, these are going to be smaller DLCs. Some of them are going to be bigger DLCs, but they're all free. All of those are free. Expansions, just like for Witcher, those will be paid. But that's that's we'll have more to say later. That's all I can say for right now.
Okay. Let's
I'd
not
love
jinx
to.
anything.
I'd love to, but we're not gonna. That's a
And also, you know, we've mentioned it at the beginning, but I think it's worth mentioning again. Like in terms of patches and everything, we're also not done, right? Like as we said, this is sort of like one more step in the direction of you know, bringing the game to the point where we all want it to be. And we are hearing your feedback. We're reading all the messages, all the, you know, tweets and everything, the good ones and the bad ones. By the way, on that note, to everyone who's going out of their way, posting nice and encouraging and
absolutely.
supporting messages,
Thank you.
thank you so much.
Thank
They
you.
they help a lot,
Thank
and
you.
we'll keep on troopering on.
Yeah.
And that's what I can say about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good moment to finish actually, because we
I,
told you everything. Yeah.
I want to say one more thing,
Okay,
and
of
it's
course.
to bounce off what Miles said, and this is sincere. This is from the heart. I know a lot of people were disappointed with this game. Like I really do. Like I know a lot of us were disappointed with this game, and I really appreciate those of you who have stuck with us, who believe in this project, who believe in this game, who believe in this world. Like sincerely, when I see you guys posting your fan art or your screenshots or talking about the characters that affected you, it's wonderful. It really makes it worth it, and I appreciate it. Thank you very much. We all appreciate it. We really do.
Yeah. One last thing.
Oh no. Oh
We've
no.
been talking about this patch without actually really addressing the issue of when does it come out?
Oh.
The
Which is-
answer is soon.
Yeah, so now we're here talking about it, which means really soon, right?
We can
So
actually like really
in
soon.
the past we haven't had the greatest experiences with, you know, revealing fixed release dates, so please don't force us to do it again. But believe us, it's really soon.
Yeah, we don't want to jinx anything, but it's soon, and patch notes are already up, so go read them. And before you finish reading the patch notes, maybe it's gonna be out there, because that's a long patch notes, right?
Yes.
Yeah, get
All
some
right.
tea.
A lot of scrolling.
So, thank you one last time, and hopefully we will see you again soon, and hope you enjoyed our stream. So bye everyone!
Bye bye.
Take care.
Bye.